iron in his soul. What's up, YouTube? This is your brother King Jabez, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. Also, in addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at @KingJabez, as well as my website, theironsoul.com. Whatever you do, it will be greatly appreciated. Let's do some work. Today's video is entitled, Chosen Ones, Your Enemies Are About to Catch God's Hands. Let me talk to you. Let's go ahead and have this conversation today. I want to give you a thorough understanding of something that many people misunderstand. And I want to hit this from a number of angles. I'm going to give a personal account in my own life. I'm going to use a book I read some years ago to give some more context to this about some kings, 3 kings. And I'll kind of give a little just practical encouragement that we need. I want to give you some motivation. So I'm going to give you a personal story, a little motivation, and really just give you this revelation that judgment is coming. Let me just put that out there. Judgment is coming. The Most High is not always a nice guy. That's what some people think. When God comes in to judge, it's over. You finna catch these hands. You better go back and read the Old Testament again. Some of y'all read it the wrong way. I don't know how you missed that. There were times God came in and took the whole city down. Do you hear me? Send angels there to take out everybody. So when what's happening right now on the earth, I'm getting ahead of myself now, getting excited about this. It is so bad out here that God has to step in and do something. He is the ultimate regulator. So he's about to start regulating some of this activity. And he wants to use you. He wants to use me to do that. And often that happens by taking down our enemies. Because often our enemies are God's enemies. Everyone that professes to speak for God isn't with God. Right? There'll be many people in the last days who said, I prophesied your name, I cast out devils in your names, and he'll say, I never knew you. There are many people online right now speaking about a God that they don't know, and even worse, who doesn't know them. Shots fired. And so we are in a battle. We are in a war out here. And it's time for us who are truly chosen, the real ones, to stand up and allow ourselves to be used in various rooms. We're speaking business. We're talking politics. We're talking entertainment. We're supposed to be in every arena. Let me give you this verse, give you some context. God has not left himself without a witness. What does that mean? He wants to have us chosen ones positioned in every arena to be a voice, to be an influence. And you need resources and wisdom and skill to do that. No one's going to take you serious without the resources, without the talent, without the ability. So he's going to provide all of that. What you have to focus on is getting yourself in order so that when you go in those rooms, you don't become like them, but you can actually be an influence for them. That's what the isolation is all about. That's what the suffering is all about. That's what the pain is all about, is to prepare you to be able to go into those rooms and to be that light. So if I gave this video the title, Your Enemy is About to Receive a Beatdown, I can give a personal story to kind of highlight this. This is back when I was in high school. High school, I got this permanent scar. And, you know, I was affiliated at the time. I'll leave it there. I won't go into the details. And I was on the enemy's territory, right? And this is out there in Maywood. I'm going to try to tell the story best I can. Part of it is comical, part of it's not comical. And I was over there doing something I shouldn't have been doing. I won't go into all those details, you know. And it was about, and I don't like to exaggerate, at least, I remember to this day, at least 6 guys, if not more. A couple of the guys were my age, a couple of the guys were older. The older guys, they basically convinced the younger ones to jump on me. This is what happened. You know, when you at that age, I was young, like maybe 14, 15. You always got the older members who want to gas the young ones up to try to prove their loyalty to who they are, right? Because I knew one of them boys. I grew up with them, everything. We used to play video games, go to my house and everything. And I see the play. I see them all because I was with my friend. This is the day with DMX when I found out my dog was a cat. I found that out that day. So anyway, they swung on him first. This is what happened. And, you know, I'll go there I'm going to defend my homie. You know, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to ride out with you. So I go over there to, start fighting, help my friend out. He take off, he get in the win. He take off, leave me. So I look around. Okay, I'm by myself now, so I'm finna get in the win too. I can't aim for to beat 6 guys. So I took off running. Now, in my case, I was actually pretty fast. I ran track. I played high school football, cornerback, receiver. So you can just about get. I was pretty fast, right? I had that going for me. Tell you how God works. I hurt my ankle in gym that week at the field house. This is Proviso West for the Maywood Bellwood people. This is at West. I hurt my ankle that week in basketball at the field house, playing basketball at gym. You can't play in this. And so I couldn't get away. I was running, but I was still kind of limping from hurting myself at high school. So I'm walking, limping. I'm trying to run, but limping at the time. They catch me, trip me. Boom. Hit the sidewalk. Face hit the ground. They stomped me out. I come in the house, man, my eye was big. Ear was big. I come in, my sister, she at the time, she, went with females. She hollering. She all upset. I got blood dripping everywhere. My stepfather, he get mad about it, obviously. So he get in the car with me. He got a bat in his hand. He come out the car like Batman. You know what I mean? He got a bat. Come on, son, let's go in the car. He said, where they at? So we tried back over there. My stepfather, he get out the car, boy. He in the middle of the street running like the Terminator. He gone. And picture the Terminator running. This real life. This ain't a movie. This is my real life. He running in the middle of the street with the bat. The guys, they all take off. They gone. They run. They hitting gates. They running. It's like this crazy man come with this bat. Somebody finna get hurt. So they all get away. He chased them away. Get to the hospital or whatnot. Has several stitches. I don't remember how many it was at this point. And I have this permanent scar to this day. And, that day, my life changed forever. That was the day I kind of experienced what it means to really get caught by your enemies. Follow me. So when it comes to our enemies and God, there comes a time when he steps in and your enemies catch a beat down. You won't suffer forever. Evil people will not be allowed to do what they're doing forever. You need to understand that. And we need to get this concept out of our mind of God always being nice and kind. No. God don't play no games. And things are so bad on earth right now. There's a time coming when God's going to step in and begin to punish some of your enemies. That was why he called Samson. Samson didn't just have long hair and muscles and beat people up. He was doing that because it was what the Most High wanted him to do. So some of us are being raised up to be warriors. We're not being raised up to sit on the sidelines. We're being raised up to go to war. That's what some of y'all are not getting yet. I mean, I'm trying to prepare you with all these talks. You are God's warrior. And I don't mean just in the pulpit preaching. You might be a warrior in that studio, a warrior in that acting field. You may be a warrior in the business world, entrepreneur, helping to build generational wealth to escape that poverty you've been facing. Prayer warriors, some of you people. You have been called to a fight. Y'all are not getting this. I know what I'm doing. I'm in a fight. This is being on this channel with these videos each day. This is a spiritual war zone. I understand that. That's why I got the line right there. I know what time it is out here. You know exactly what's going on. This is a war. And so we have been called to fight. If you want to take back territory, get wealth, and get that back, you got to fight for it. Okay? And that means some of your enemies got to get taken down. And so if you are afraid of conflict and going through something difficult, you might as well just quit right now. Because where the Most High is trying to take you, you're going to have to fight for that blessing. You hear me? You're going to have to fight for that. I'm talking to you now. You're going to have to fight for that bag. You're going to have to fight for that acting role. You're going to have to fight for that musical contract. You're going to have to fight to get into the NBA, to get into the NFL. You're going to have to fight to get into a pro league you're trying to get into. Ain't nobody forgiving nothing out here. People are going to fight you every step of the way. And so what the Most High is looking for right now is strong men and women who are willing to fight for what belongs to them. Do you hear me? So again, just as I shared that story from my very real life, you have enemies. You have people who are out to hurt you, who have been trying to sabotage your career, and there are various ways they can do this, right? They got all the tricks on the chessboard. They will sometimes give misinformation. I know about that game. You somewhere working, everybody knows what's going on besides you, okay? And the goal of that is to make you look like you're a fool and they're competent. They will character assassinate. Oh, they got I might do a video one day on the tricks of your enemies. They got a bunch of them. So character assassination is one of them. I'm going to give you all of them in one video today. Character assassination. Misinformation, keeping you out of the loop. Here's another one, gossiping. That's a big one they use to make people see you a certain way. And a lot of times, this happens, especially if you're an attractive person, when you're not giving the opposite sex the attention that he or she thinks she deserves. And so when you don't do that, now their lust turns into hate and anger, right? And so now they want to hurt you. All of these games are what you go through if you're truly chosen, because that light in you is attractive and people love to mismanage it and to make it something else. So when you're going through all of this, there comes a time when these enemies need to be taken down. And that will only happen if you are strong enough to go forward, to say what needs to be said, to stand your ground, to continue to build your character, right? In other words, we don't match energy over here. Somebody said, we don't match energy. We are the energy. We set the tone. I'm not matching your energy. I'm not going to go down to this low frequency, low vibration with you. You stay over there with that. You dig? I'm not going to allow you to take me out of my character. I'm going to remain who I am. And so, as you think about enemies, I want to use a book I read to give a little more weight to this. It's a book I think you should read. It is entitled A Tale of Three Kings. And the three kings mentioned in this book are King Saul, King David, and Absalom, who I believe would have been the next king in Israel's history. So let's tap in real quick. King Saul was the first king in Israel's history, ancient Hebrew king. And he was the people's choice, whereas David was the Most High's choice. And that same saga happens today in 2023 going into 2024. Often who the people pick is not who God wanted. And Saul was everything on paper that David was in real life. What do I mean by that? Saul looked good outwardly, but inwardly he was not. He came from a rich family, but he was spiritually poor. He was a terrible leader. And with all of that strength, the height, he was very insecure. He was angry. He was jealous. He was an old hater. That's for those old heads be hating on you. That was Saul. And let me give you this word for you, men and women. Be careful with older people who see in you what they cannot see in themselves. Let me say it again. Let me put that on repeat like a mixtape. Let's run that back. You know what I say in the mixtape? Run that back, run that back, run that back like a mixtape. Let's get back. We back in the booth and put the headphones back on. Turn me up. Be careful with older men and women who see in you what they cannot believe for themselves. Do you hear me? Because what that will do is bring out that jealousy. That's why they hating on you, trying to tell you you're stuck up, trying to sabotage you, because they can't take what you got. And you have the courage to pursue your dreams. They didn't. They settled. No worse than a person that settled, that sees you jumping out there and really trying to become who you're meant to be. They're going to try to talk you right out your goals. Right out. I'm talking now. These are enemies, right? Talk you right out your destiny. Talk you right into a life of complacency. Things that make you say, Lil Reese voice. Right? I did do that one time. I'm sorry. So, King Sauls, they're out there today. There are a bunch of King Sauls out there to this day. People who have the power, who got the money, who got the position to control and puppeteer everybody else. And most people are too weak to stand up to them. So they'll like you personally, but they'll hide the fact that they like you to keep the king happy. I know about that game too. Big Bro know about all the games. Somebody say Big Bro know all the tricks. So they got the power, they got the status behind them, and people will bow down and they'll make you, the people's choice, David, look like a fool. So with your enemies, you got to realize that, the truth is the Most High is allowing all this. He's allowing it for a reason, because it's not your time yet. So he's allowing them to do all this stuff just to get you ready, to prep you, get your spirit right, get your mind right, get your body right. So when the time comes, you take off. So David was the people. He was God's choice. He was a real chosen one, chosen out of his tribe, away from his family. He had all those brothers. God said, no, I want none of them. I want David. I want the youngest. This is my man here. And that right there, he's a perfect example of a chosen one, chosen out of his tribe, hated by his own family, underestimated by his own father. That's for you people got fathers who didn't even believe in you. You know what I mean? Some of your own father didn't believe in you. Your own mom didn't believe in you. But God does. I'm here to tell you that. Even if your mom and dad don't believe in you, some of you, your own blood don't even rock with you. That's how you know you're chosen. Your own blood not even rocking with you. But God is. So if God be for me, who could be against me? That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? And so he was God's choice. And so God's choice had a son named Absalom. This is all in this book, by the way. This is a powerful book, 3 Kings. Absalom was a very handsome young man. In fact, he was the most handsome young man in the entire land of Israel. Really long hair. Handsome guy. King's son. So you got the king's son. He got status. If this was modern 2023, he'd have had Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram turned up. Yeah, I'm trying to paint a picture for you. He'd have been at the main follower status. Look at Absalom. That was the type of guy he was. You know what I mean? And very handsome, very popular, well-spoken, charismatic. He would stand out there in the gates. This is all in the Bible, by the way. He would stand at the gates. See, the Bible is very interesting, little do you know. But anyway, he would stand at the gates, give people hugs, dap it up with them. They loved him. He knew how to win people over. And Scripture says he stole the hearts of the people. See, sometimes your enemies, they will steal the hearts of the people and make you like you're the bad guy. And so often enemies, they are charismatic. They know how to win people over. They get the crowd on their side. And little do people know they're actually the enemy. So Absalom steals people's hearts. They all rocking with him now. He ends up eventually trying to take his dad down. I'm going to take you out. I'm tired of you. This is my kingdom now. Right? Absalom. And they was like, no, that ain't going to happen. Right? That ain't what he said. I'm just paraphrasing. And they go to war. And Absalom ends up dying in battle. And check this out. He dies with his hair hanging from a tree. So the very attribute that was a part of his gift, his handsome, good looks, his image, was the very thing that killed him. So this is a word for all of you who have the ability, who have the talent, who could be the next king. You got to be patient enough to wait your turn. Right? Do not run ahead of yourself. There is a purpose for isolation. Listen to me. There's a purpose for your trial you're going through right now. Go through that process. Endure that humiliation ritual. I'm going to bring it up again. Yeah, I brought up. Yeah, I brought it up again. Oh, yes, sir. Endure all that. Because when you go through that, now you're ready to be that next king, queen that you've been called to be. That's another perspective on these enemies. So, how do I kind of wrap this up in terms of what's going to happen to your enemies? So as I kind of wrap this message up, what does this mean to you practically? Some of you are about to get a new position. The Most High is going to allow others to act up to put you in a slot. A good example of that will be with Queen Esther. The queen at the time, Vashti, was not pleasing the king, make a long story short. And she lost her slot. So what's going to happen for a lot of us is that there are people in positions right now who are not doing the right thing. They're going to lose their slot. I'm going to talk to you now. And God's going to slide you right in. But he can't do that. Listen to me. If you're not prepping yourself now, God's not going to put you in a position to make you look like a fool, make him look like a fool. Because he knows how people think. Come on. God knows how people think. So he wants you to be ready. So what many of you need to be doing, instead of worry about the timing, just get yourself ready. Whatever your gift is, your ability, cultivate that. If it's your looks, you want to be model, get on your regiment. I'm going to talk to them, make it plain for you. Make it plain English. Drink the water every day, take your vitamins, whatever you need to do. That's part of it too. Esther didn't get the position because God liked her. She looked good. She went on a 1-year regiment, taking care of her skin, taking care of her teeth, taking care of her hair. So she was presented before the king. King was like, man, who was that? You hear me? So prep yourself. Do what is necessary for you, whatever field you're in. You can kind of follow where I'm going with this. So that when your enemy loses that slot, God can push you right in. That also is not going to happen if you're not out here networking. Esther had to go to that palace and network. She had to put her hat in the ring. So for some of you, you're waiting for something that's only going to happen when you put your hat in the ring. You got to put some skin in the game. You got to get out here and do something. You got to travel. Let me make a plan for you. You got to get out here and travel. You got to get aggressive. You got to go pay for some professional photos. Let me talk to you. Make a plan for you. You got to shoot some videos. You got to do something. You got to get the right equipment. If you're a barber, if you're a tradesman, there's certain things you got to do. God can't do everything for you. So get out here, get aggressive, present yourself, and when the right time comes, he's going to hit that switch button, put you right in a position. What it also means, to add to this, some more teeth, is that some of us, you're called to be more, some of us have a combative anointing. Well, let's talk about anointing. Some of us are anointed to fight. That's what Samson did. Samson wasn't called to sing Kumbaya. Okay? He was called to get out there and crack some heads. You know what I mean? He was like so slim, he was a head buster. Literally, you know Big Bro knew about that. You know Big Bro knew about that. Come on, man. Come on, my 80s baby. You know I know who So Slim is, man. Come on. Some of us called crack some heads. And I don't mean physically. I ain't trying to get about go to jail for better kids. Don't be crazy. Some of you get gas. That's right, Big Bro. For going for no, I ain't saying that. What I am saying, spiritually speaking, get into the war and confront people in their false ideologies. Confront some of the people who are spreading lies. Get out here and get aggressive. Be that voice that is necessary in these last days. So, as you can see, there are a number of ways that our enemies can be taken down. And sometimes the answer to the problem is you. Sometimes when we're looking for a solution and we don't see it, it's because listen to me. Listen to me. I have a burden on my heart right now. I see an obvious problem. I'm not going to share what it is because you say something, everybody take and run with it. I see an obvious need right now. And I don't see anybody quite doing it. And so I believe for this particular problem, not this channel, something deeper than this, I'm the solution. But I have to be wise in how I go about that. So some of you right now, you have something that bothers you. It is a burden. You see it clear as day, and others don't see it. That's because God gave it to you. He revealed it to you. It's your responsibility to become the solution to that problem. And in that way, in a very real sense, that's how your enemy gets taken down. He gets taken down through you doing the work. So that's what I got for you guys today. I trust that was of value to you. Leave a comment. Share this with somebody. Let's get this word out. This one needs to be shared. Let me know what you think about my content. This is your big brother, King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.